And now, Mike's thoughts. What is good? What is good? What is good? Man Hour Nation! For the last 2 weeks, we have been breaking down each division. We started with the AFC East, when we traveled to the AFC West, and next week we'll be doing the NFC East, and we're talking about each and every game, breaking it down, giving my predictions for each and every game throughout that division. But with that being said, these are all predictions at the end of the day. Now, these are educated predictions. These are based off of what I've seen during minicamp and OTAs and what I've taken about like throughout the draft and the coaching changes and all this other stuff. So with that being said, these are predictions like I've been saying. So just because you do not agree with my predictions, just because they agree with my predictions, just because you think your Raiders are better than a 4-win team, do not come in my inbox. We can have a healthy discussion in the comments of every post that I make. It is me behind the Man Hour name. It is not Hoffy. It is not Combs. It is not Wayne G. It is not Mark D. It's not Jim. It's not John. It's not Eric. It's not James. It is Michael Buckheiser. So, when you come into my inbox and say, I'm going to kill you because you're... Shut up with that shit. I don't take too kindly to that. I don't really care. If I get underneath your skin that easy by saying that your Raiders suck, this might be the wrong place for you. Now, I do love the interaction. I do love you talking your shit in the comments below. This is a live, raw, uncut NFL talk show every Monday through Friday at 2:30 East Coast time. But, there's always a line. Don't you cross that line, because once that line is crossed, Buck Nasty comes out, and Buck Nasty crosses that line, and I get Facebook violations. AKA, guys, I've been banned for 7 hours for posting on Facebook. All because I said, are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? I gotta censor myself? At the end of the day, guys, it is what it is. It is all love. It's all love. But just know that the Las Vegas Raiders still suck. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah. From the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? Let's go.
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckheiser here with the Man Hour. Short of manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page. Check out the blog section. Check out the forum section. But most importantly, check out the live shows there, because we are live every Monday through Friday at 2:30 East Coast time, 2 p.m. if you are a pigskin pundit. But with that being said, guys, this is AFC West week. We've talked about the Chiefs, we've talked about the Raiders, Chargers, and Denver Broncos all week long. I gave you my predictions. I predicted that the Kansas City Chiefs will win the AFC West again. The Raiders will come in the cellar, followed by the Broncos and the Chargers in the second place. We have had a great week. We've had great conversations, but most importantly, we've had a lot of fun. And that's what we do right here on the Man Hour. And today is Friday edition, so we are going to have a way or no way Friday. I have 5 questions that I pulled from the comments from all week here. We will talk about those, but if you guys have a way or no way, be sure to post them in the comments below, because this is a live interactive show. I do have a script, but I like to shoot from the hip, pew pew, just like we do all the time right here at Man Hour. But we got to welcome some people in the chat here. And first person we got to welcome into the people's chat is the people's champion, Mr. John, the CFO of the Pigskin Pundits. He says the Chiefs will shit the bed this year. Listen, if the Chiefs shit the bed, it will be a second round playoff loss just because we played so many damn games the last 5 seasons that we're tired. We need a break. We're tired of carrying this crap ass division. We're tired of making you guys think you're relevant when you're not. That's the only way the Chiefs will ever shit the bed this season. But it is what it is. We also got Kevin Cummings in the chat as well. You said you forgot the Raiders, who had 7 losing seasons of the past 10 years. Ouch. Ouch. Raiders fans, come defend yourself. Somebody come get your boys. The Raiders are terrible. 7 losing seasons of the last 10. Good Lord. And when you guys finally get on track, you guys are finally, trying to go to the moon, baby. You want to fire John Gruden for emails. You want to, from emails from like 2008 or whatever, back when the Redskins were still a name you could say. Great, I just got canceled for saying Redskins. But yeah, Kevin, you are right. 7 losing seasons the past 10 years. Ouch. Ouch. And John says, you're kidding me. Some asshole said that. Dude, John, if you could see my inbox on a daily basis, man, you guys would be surprised. 100%. One day, I'm going to let you guys venture into the back office here of the Man Hour here on my Facebook page and email. Maybe sometime before the season starts, we can maybe call these people. I don't know. It is what it is. We got my man Mark D in the chat as well for the NFL Expert. He says, what up, Buck? I say, what up, Mark? Hope you're having a grand old day. Mark, we're going to be talking about your boy Zach Wilson coming up here. Do you guys really think Zach Wilson can start? Y'all really think that? Y'all really think that? I don't know. We got to talk about it. John also says, and before Mahomes, tell me again where KC was. Kansas City was a 13-win team year after year after year. 11, 12, 13 wins with Alex Smith and Andy Reid, John. And before that, we had Steve Bono. We still had 13 wins. Granted, we couldn't get out the first round. Granted, we couldn't, find our way into the second round of the playoffs for like many, many, many years. Hell, I think at one point the Kansas City Chiefs had a losing home playoff record. It just flabbergasted, right? The loudest stadium in America, the best home field advantage, the best barbecue in the land. That's right. I said Kansas City has the best barbecue in the land. And we couldn't get ourselves out of the way of the first round. It is what it is. Kevin, dropping names, Josh Norman, all up in your inbox. Kevin, he is one of them. He is one of them that is in my inbox day after day after day, wanting to talk that shit. And then once I drop the facts on them, they're like, "Oh, you're fat." How am I fat? I'm 6'3", 250. How's that fat? It just went from here to, man, I am a little fat. Fuck you, Josh. Jim Powell says Chargers fans are AI generated. Broncos fans are too busy moving cattle across Brokeback Mountain, and the Chiefs fans are cooking meth within a Mountain Dew bottle. The only fans worth their salt are Raiders and fans, and their honesty all felons. Jim is a pigskin punting, guys. If you guys want to be a pigskin punting and have some interaction pre-show, post-show, and sometimes we have pigskin members only chats as well, click on the link below. Subscribe away. John says you're high. Hey, that's a common statement that I hear all year long. Zach Wilson, says Kevin. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Zach Wilson. And John says Raiders had 14 winning seasons and winning division 11 times. Every team takes our turn. Yeah. I don't anticipate the Raiders being on top for at least consistently for many years until you guys find that franchise quarterback. It's not Aiden O'Connell. It is not Gardner Minshew. Y'all, maybe one day y'all will find your franchise quarterback, but right now you guys do not have it. Kevin says Josh Norman is a moron. Season the Raiders' last 2 seasons doesn't count because they didn't have a coach. Exactly. When I saw that comment, I was like, good Lord. So if you guys do not know, I posted my predictions for the AFC West standings today. I obviously had the Raiders in last place. And there is a person by the name of Josh that is in there saying that the last season did not count for the Raiders because they only had a coach for like half the season. And then he tried to say, oh, Kansas City Chiefs got lucky. They were like 3 games away from losing the division or something like that. Some people you just cannot win with. But with that being said, we do have to talk about the AFC West. We do have to really sit down and look at the Kansas City, or not the Kansas City Chiefs. What it is the Kansas City Chiefs division in the last, 10 years or so. We pretty much owned it since Peyton Manning left the Denver Broncos. But we got to ask the question legitimately, guys. We all have fun in games. We all laugh at each other's teams here. But we have Chiefs fans here. We have Chargers fans here when David pops in from time to time. We have Broncos fans with Hannah. Chiefs fan, myself, right? Guys, is the AFC West the worst division in football? If you think about this, just a couple years ago, we were potentially talking about how the AFC West could be the best division in football, how we could have all 4 teams in the playoffs, right? The Super Bowl ran through the AFC West. It still does, thanks to the Kansas City Chiefs. But in the last 2-3 years, the AFC West has kind of hit in this wall and fell off a ledge. When I say that, the Chargers, every year, me, Combs, would sit here on the show and say, Chargers have potential to be a really good team. On paper, they're a really good team. But they would never execute. They would never really get over that hump. The one year they did make the playoffs, they blew a 28-point lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Las Vegas Raiders. I got to give credit where credit is due. You guys are great for 8 games of the season. 8 games a year, the Raiders are good. Whether it's the front half, whether it's the back half, they are really good for 8 games a season. They have yet to put a full 17-game season together in, 5-6 years. The Denver Broncos, since Peyton Manning left, you guys have been struggling. Whether it's from head coaches, whether it's from quarterbacks, whether it's from John Elway just not knowing how to bring in a quarterback, right? Yes, I know he wasn't the general manager. He was some type of consultant or whatever. But, and then you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, right? They lucked out when Philadelphia fired Andy Reid for whatever reason. That was stupid. Scooped him up in a matter of like 30 minutes. Like, come on down to Kansas City, man. We got barbecue and Jack in the Box. We got you. Lucked out in the draft when they got Patrick Mahomes. You guys can say what you want about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is a system quarterback. Do not get that twisted. I think if he would have been drafted by the Bears, he would have been like Mitchell Trubisky. If he would have got drafted by the Buffalo Bills, he would kind of be in the same situation that Josh Allen is in. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are a perfect marriage, perfect match, and it has elevated both people. I can say that because it's the facts. The facts is that the system for Patrick Mahomes ended up pretty good. But when we look at the AFC West as a whole, this season, going into 2024, are they the worst in football? When I looked at it across the board, I'm like, damn, are we? Is the AFC West really the worst division in football? I mean, if you look at the AFC East, they are going to be pretty average across the board, right? Now, depending on what the Jets do, right? If the Jets are, I should say Aaron Rodgers, if Aaron Rodgers is a shell of himself of the MVP caliber quarterback that he used to be, the AFC East could be one of the best divisions in football. Right now, I think the AFC North is the best division in football, followed by the NFC North. But when we really think about it, the rival division that could really rival the AFC West for the worst division is the NFC South. The NFC South could potentially be the worst division in football. That whole division is based off potential, right? Potentially, Kirk Cousins could be what he was last year before his Achilles injury, right? Potentially, Baker Mayfield could be a top 10 quarterback. Now, I know this is the same thing for the West, right? But from top to bottom, I think the worst division in football, and it's going to hurt me to say this because I kind of like the NFC South, but it is the NFC South. They are the worst division in football. Because if you go from team to team across the board, strength versus weaknesses, right? Carolina Panthers. One of the worst wide receiver cores in all of football. Rivaled by the Los Angeles Chargers. Head to head, I'm going to take the Chargers because I like that running game. I like their coach, right? Granted, they might have the worst receivers in all of NFL, or is it the most unproven NFL core, or the most unproven wide receiver core in NFL, but they got some proven running backs. Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, and they do have that true X factor in Jim Harbaugh, right? Whether I want to admit it or not, Jim Harbaugh wins everywhere he goes. From Stanford to San Francisco to Michigan, he wins. The man knows how to win. He knows how to put a system into place to win. This year, I don't think the Chargers are there, but next year and beyond, yes. Top team potentially in the NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the Chiefs can walk all over them. Granted, I do have a very close game when the Buccaneers and Chiefs do play, but that is just a circumstantial thing, right? How the schedules line up, how potentially could be playing. But head to head, right now, neutral field, give me the Chiefs 9 times out of 10. Las Vegas Raiders, they can beat down the Saints. I truly think they can. Neutral field, head to head, play right now, give me the Raiders. Now, I do have them losing them in the regular season. Like I said, it's circumstantial, right? Then you have the Broncos. 3 out of 4 is not bad, right? 3 out of 4 is bad. But to answer the question, are they the worst division in football? No, I don't think they are. They are close, but they're not it. I think the NFC South takes that crown. Jim Powell is back in the chat, and he says, I just looked. Chiefs swag sales were non-existent before 2018. The only reason there were Chiefs fans in the stands was because the local high school team wore the same colors. That is not true. Arrowhead is always sold out. Granted, we might have discount tickets, but it's always sold out. Casey Morgan's in the chat. He's the anniversary follower. Guys, check that out. 3 years, my man Casey's been a part of the Man Hour Nation. Thank you, Casey, for all your support. Casey says Chargers just don't want it. True. Raiders and Broncos tried too hard to keep up with the Chiefs, took risk, and it did not pan out, and they all fell apart. This is the biggest. This is the one thing I think that really, truly hurt the AFC West, right? 2018, the Kansas City Chiefs had the most high-flying offense in all of football, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the year that they went toe-to-toe with the Rams, like 58-56, some crazy-ass score, right? Once the Kansas City Chiefs took off that season, the Broncos thought, man, we need offense with offense. Nobody can stop the Kansas City Chiefs offense, so we need to go out and get Russ. We need to do this, and this. Screw our defense. Von Miller, see you later. Chargers kind of did the same thing. Yes, they did get Joey Bosa in the draft, but comes down to it, they kind of wanted to fight fire with fire. Raiders, they just always draft the biggest star wide receiver in the first round, no matter who it is. The Raiders really never had a plan, I don't think. The problem is when the Kansas City Chiefs offense kind of came back down to reality, or the rest of the league caught back up, or whatever you want to call it, the Chiefs defense got a hell of a lot better. Broncos, Chargers, and like Raiders are still thinking, man, the Chiefs are going to put up 50 points on us. We need to put 60. Yes, I understand fighting fire with fire does work a lot of the time. Had you put out a grass fire, you set up a fire in front of it and let it eat itself out, right? But sometimes water does a trick too. Sometimes having a good defense, having a good pass rush does help. The Raiders do have a decent pass rush with Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins, right? I think it is going to be a good 1-2 punch, just not this year. Next year, the year beyond that, when I think Max Crosby's contract's up in 2 seasons, I think we can see a 20, 25 sack season for Max Crosby, that contract season. We just need to know that sometimes fighting with fire hurts you. And when the Chiefs get the fire and the water and you still trying to get the fire, it bogs down just bogs down your future, right? You're not very good at that point. Kevin says the Chargers are the Browns of the AFC West. Ouch. John says the NFL after Goodell pulled that shit with Chucky is just all catch up after that. Yeah. So, John, I understand what you're saying to an extent, right? Al Davis and the NFL went head to head for many, many years. Basically, Al Davis thought he was above the NFL. And at this point, Roger Goodell / NFL / whoever else was involved with that Al Davis stuff said, you know what, Mark, you're Al's son. Yeah, this shit happened like 20 years ago, but we're going to stick it to you. And to an extent, I can see that, right? They did force Daniel Snyder out, but that was after doing cocaine off of hookers' butts in his office. But it is what it is. People are saying the NFC South is the worst division in football. Kevin brings up a great point here. The Chargers running backs can't stay healthy. Greg Roman is going to run the ball 80% of the game through 5 or 6 running backs throughout the season. That's what he did in Baltimore, and that's what he's going to probably do in LA. More excuses from Raiders fans. But are they the worst division in football? Got to answer that question. No. But moving on. This next one on this way or no way, open-ended water cool talk Friday, whatever you want to call it. If you guys got a question, be sure to post it in the comments below. Be sure to like this live stream as well. Share this with a couple friends, because the more people we get it in, the more shit we can talk. But this one kind of got to me a little bit. So obviously, guys, here on the Man Hour, we like us some Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time, but he is the greatest quarterback in the NFL right now. Patrick Mahomes is a damn good talent. Like in my opening rant, he is a system quarterback. There's no denying that. A system quarterback is not a bad thing. Tom Brady is a system quarterback, right? Brock Purdy is a system quarterback. There are sometimes a quarterback skill set fits perfect into the scheme, into the system that he is in, and Patrick Mahomes is that guy. And it's making him a really, really good quarterback. But this person said on our post about the predictions of the AFC West, where I had the Kansas City Chiefs going, what was it, 12-5 or 11-6? I think it's 12-5. He said Patrick Mahomes will get hurt week 3 or week 4, and the Kansas City Chiefs season will derail. So I got to thinking, and I'm going to ask the question, way or no way, does the Kansas City Chiefs have to have Patrick Mahomes healthy all season long for potentially to make a three-peat? Now, obviously, Patrick Mahomes is the Chiefs starting quarterback. Obviously, he's a very, very good talent. Obviously, having him on the field would be a hell of a lot easier to three-peat without him off the field. However, peep what I'm about to say. Peep what I'm about to say. As Patrick Mahomes is a system quarterback. Not a bad term. The Kansas City Chiefs might struggle a couple weeks without Patrick Mahomes, but Andy Reid is a smart enough coach that he can get Carson Wentz to fit that system, I think. I think he can mold Carson Wentz into not Patrick Mahomes, but a Walmart version of Patrick Mahomes. There have to be other people to step up. Jay Pacheco's going to have to step up. Rashid Rice, Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce, they're going to have to step up and catch the ball. No more drops, right? But the key to the Kansas City Chiefs' success last season was the defense. Let's just be 100% honest. The Kansas City Chiefs wouldn't have even made the playoffs last season if it wasn't for that top 5 defense. Hear what I just said. The Kansas City Chiefs would not have made the playoffs last season without that top 5 defense. The offense struggled most of the season last year. They happened to get hot at the right time and played really well throughout the playoffs. The defense played even better. But Patrick Mahomes struggled. The receiving core struggled. Offensive play calling struggled. Matt Nagy, offensive coordinator, right? Perfect storm. Perfect storm. This year, Kansas City Chiefs defense will be as good. So if Patrick Mahomes happens to go down week 3, week 4, first things first is we never wish injury here. I think the Kansas City Chiefs might be more of a threat then. Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes goes down. People are like, they're done. They're over with. That's when teams start overlooking them. That's when the Kansas City Chiefs come up and like a snake and bite you in the ass. Now, I'm not saying they're a Super Bowl caliber team by any stretch of the imagination without Patrick Mahomes. I think they'll need a good quarterback, a star quarterback, the best quarterback in the game to get them to the Super Bowl, to get them to a three-peat. But if he goes down, I still think they're a really good team. I still think they're a 10-11 win team. I still think they're a playoff team. The defense carries. Defense wins championships. Right, Jim? As Jim said, defense wins championships, and he's not wrong. Not wrong. Casey says they need him for the playoffs. Regular season 50-50. Yeah. I think Carson Wentz could get the Chiefs to the playoffs. Mainly because the West is so bad, for one. Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, easy wins, right? You win your division. You were in the playoffs. You have a home playoff game. If he goes down week 4, granted, it's not like a ACL or a Achilles or, some type of tennis elbow or something. I think they'll be fine. John says, and neither Mahomes or Purdy could have played 20 years ago. Penalties saved quarterbacks. Listen, isn't there a Tom Brady, the Tom Brady rule, basically where you can't horse collar anymore because of his torn ACL? The game evolves year after year after year. In baseball and basketball and football, right? Right now, we are in the wave of the offense, right? Do you guys remember that sack? The Atlanta Falcons defensive end. I don't know his name. I'm not even going to try to act like I do. Sacked Tom Brady. Basically laid him down on the turf. They said, boo, flag, hit him too hard or hit him later or something. Changed the whole outcome of the game. I believe that was the year that Tom Brady won the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So just to say that Mahomes and Purdy are the ones that are benefiting from this, if the Atlanta Falcons beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that game, that sack right? It was, talking a totally different story. Tom Brady doesn't have 7 rings, right? I mean, he only has 6. It is what it is. They better pray so. If not, he's a scapegoat. So, like, if Patrick Mahomes goes down and the Chiefs do not make the playoffs, do you think the Chiefs will use that excuse? Oh, he was hurt. We get a pass. You know, I mean, of course. Of course, that's what the Jets did last season, right? Oh, Aaron Rodgers went down. We don't have a quarterback. San Francisco 49ers did it against the Philadelphia Eagles the year they won the Super Bowl. We have our 3rd string quarterback. Ooh, you guys beat us. Oh, right? Kevin Cummings says, wins ain't going to get you good wins against good teams. Well, good thing the Kansas City Chiefs play a lot of shit teams this season. They play 6 shit teams right off the top of my head. Casey dropping some facts here. He said the Chiefs' defense will be hurting without Snead. Now, I do think losing L'Jarius Sneed was a big blow, right? I also thought that losing the Honey Badger 3 seasons ago, was a big blow as well. We also thought Tyreek Hill was a big blow as well. Sometimes, hear me out, addition by subtraction is good, right? Addition by subtraction is good. This gives an opportunity for other cornerbacks in the Kansas City Chiefs defense, young players, I might add, to step up. Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams, Trent McDuffie, gives them some time to step up, right? Drew Tranquil, right? If we wouldn't have lost Gay, Drew Tranquil wouldn't even be on the roster. Now he's probably one of our best linebackers. Yes, I know Nick Bolton's pretty good, but Drew Tranquil is pretty good. Addition by subtraction is sometimes good. Sometimes you got to take the ego out of the mix for the team to come together. Now, L'Jarius Sneed is a very, very good player, and he seemed to very, very be humble and selfish, right? But at the same time, he wanted a big payday. He got himself a big payday. Now the Kansas City Chiefs can worry about, bringing some other pieces around him and building that team up. It's a team atmosphere. John says Kansas City will be on the shitter for the year if Mahomes goes down. That'd be my excuse. Mahomes is down. Mahomes is down. Come on. Jones roughing the passer PI on Brady. Was that the guy's name from the Atlanta Falcons, Jones? Also the Tuck rule. F Tom Brady, says John. Raiders fans are still bitter about that Tuck rule. Kevin says Mahomes had 70-plus interceptions called back due to penalties. The closest one to him was Josh Allen with 7. Listen, this is just a smart NFL play. Aaron Rodgers was amazing at manipulating the snap count, drawing you off sides and letting Jordy Nelson run his 4.4 speed down the field and throwing it as far as you can. That is what good quarterbacks do. I draw you off sides. I know I have a free play, so let me try to go down the field. Let me try to thread the needle. Yeah, if you get the pick 6, awesome. Well, whatever. I know it's coming back, and I get to redo the down. That's football IQ, baby. I see the defensive end jump. Oh, you gone, right? That's coaching 101. That's the greatness of Eric Bieniemy, Eric Bieniemy, Andy Reid, and Matt Nagy. You have to teach that. You have to coach that. Patrick Mahomes has to pull them off sides, and it's just the biggest thing. And Casey said it right here. The biggest weapon is the quarterback knowing the rules. That's why the San Francisco 49ers probably lost the Super Bowl, because they didn't know the new overtime rules. What do you want me to say? The truth of the matter is that knowing the rules is a benefit to the game. On the high school level that I coach, every Monday, yes, we do film study of the other teams and walk through and like all that crap, but we do 45 minutes of situational football IQ plays. I may not have the biggest, fastest, and baddest people out there, but we're going to be the most disciplined and we're going to be the most smartest people out there, and we win a lot of football games because of our football IQ. Example, kickoff. We had a speedster back there. People would consistently try to pin him in the corner, and just swarm it, right? They'll be like, oh, we'll kick it out of bounds, or like we'll let it die right there at the like of the 5 or whatever, right? We taught him 1 foot out of bounds. You catch it. It's a kick out of bounds. We're getting at the 45. Getting it at the 45. Kevin says, no. Slow it down, baby. Mahomes has been heavily favored by the refs. Now, obviously, this is opinion based, Kevin, which I'm not going to fault your opinion. When you can't beat them, you blame the refs. Right, Raiders fans? I would like to see some type of statistics. Did I say that right? Statistics. That it shows Mahomes is favored by the refs. There are some plays I'm like, that's kind of a weird call, right? But at the same time, once the referees get to know you, you earn that veteran status, you get some of those calls. Tom Brady got a lot of those calls. Aaron Rodgers gets a lot of those calls. Brock Purdy doesn't. Rookie, 15 years in the league. Michael Jordan got a lot of BS calls. LeBron James gets a lot of BS calls. Tyrese Maxey doesn't. It is what it is. David's in the chat. Speaking of Chargers fans, he says, let the Charger Authority come into the conversation. We'll be talking about the Chargers here very, very soon, David. Stay tuned. Stay tuned because the Chargers are coming. Casey says, anyone that says the Chiefs get all the calls, they were the most penalized team last season. Just saying. Very, very true. And also, I like when people bring up the point that the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs have not had a holding call in the Super Bowl like the last two or the last 3 Super Bowls. Let's flash back to Super Bowls. How many flags do you see in the Super Bowl in general? Usually, the referees kind of let them play. The referees don't want to be a part of the game. Now, when Bradbury holds you and you throw the flag and it changes the game, right? But as far as holding calls, the last 3 Super Bowls, last 4 Super Bowls, I can maybe only count 2 or 3 total. So to say that Chiefs never got 1 holding penalty in the Super Bowl, the 49ers only had 1. And the only reason why they got the 1 was because it was a rollout play by Brock Purdy, and Trent Williams, I think, reached out his 9.5-foot arm and grabbed the guy. It is what it is. Situational football. Jim says, are you saying QBs like Mahomes doesn't get the LeBron treatment? I'm not saying that. I'm saying veteran players in general get special treatment. Referees trust them. Do they take advantage of that? Of course they should. Of course you should take advantage of that. If you're not taking advantage of that, you're living life wrong. Like they say, they give you an inch, you take a mile. Kevin says the Bills have no issue beating the Chiefs in the regular season. The playoffs, on the other hand, that's just Josh Allen being Josh Allen. Pandas Cricket's in the chat. What's up, Pandas Cricket? Said good luck to all the fans and the teams. Go Raiders. Go Raiders. Allen doesn't get special treatment at all. So the reason why I don't think Josh Allen gets that special treatment is because his style of play. A lot of quarterbacks that are pocket-style type of quarterbacks, like Patrick Mahomes, that scrambles when needed, usually gets down when pressure comes, gets calls. Josh Allen wants to run over people, wants to hurdle people, wants to show his athletic ability. If he would get down, maybe he would get that special treatment. Maybe, just maybe. Maybe, just maybe. Zach Wilson. Mark D, when we were breaking down the New York Jets last week, commented on our Week 4 game. I said that the Denver Broncos are going to kind of be in like this quarterback carousel, quarterback, I don't know what to do with my hands type of situation. And he said, and I quote, "It would not shock me one bit if Zach Wilson is a starter going into the New York Jets game." Flash forward to yesterday's show. A week later, breaking down the Denver Broncos. Have Mark on the show to talk about his team. I flat out asked him, put your money where your mouth is, Mark. Put your money where your mouth is. Is Zach Wilson going to start for the Denver Broncos Week 1? Mark said yes. I was flabbergasted. I'm like, what? What? I talked to him off show. Like, you're serious, aren't you? He's like, well, yeah. During the show, if you guys watched it, which you should have. If not, you can check it out on podcast form at Spotify or iHeartRadio. Simply type in Man Hour NFL Talk. Bring it up. Most recent podcast out there. He said Zach Wilson has the most starts. Zach Wilson probably has the strongest arm. Well, he said he had the strongest arm. And Zach Wilson has the most experience in the NFL over Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham. All great points. All very valid points. However, we got to ask the question. People in the chat, watching over at YouTube, watching on the old TikTok, watching at Facebook.com. Hit the like button for first. But where no way does Zach Wilson start Week 1 for the Denver Broncos? When I thought about this, I'm like, there is no freaking way. Right now, Zach Wilson is listed third on the depth chart per ESPN and NFL.com. I'm assuming that they get those from the teams, right? The teams release their depth charts, and this is how the depth chart looks. Zach Wilson was not wanted in New York. I think they gave him like a 6th or 7th round pick for Zach Wilson to come over to the Denver Broncos. Now, as Zach Wilson does have a stronger arm, when he said that, like, there's no freaking way. I went back and watched film. Zach Wilson does have a very strong arm. He obviously does have more starts than Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix combined. Also has more wins than Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix combined. But with that being said, where no way is Zach Wilson truly going to start Week 1? I'm going to have to go with no way on this. I'm going to have to go with no way because of the simple fact that I don't think that Sean Payton wants any type of quarterback controversy. Zach Wilson has been proven to be a head case, right? If the team is not supporting him, if the fans are not supporting him, if the coach is not supporting him, he kind of crumbles and kind of self implodes. Sean Payton went out and picked Jarrett Stidham and said, I want you to come here to be my guy. I think Sean Payton has all the world in Jarrett Stidham, and then it's Bo Nix, and then Zach Wilson, you are our emergency guy. You're going to be our practice quarterback. So I have to say no way, but I do like where Mark's head's at. Strong arm, more experience, more wins, even if it's by like 5. The good thing about what Zach has is he went from this media hellhole called New York. Led every show off with the New York Jets because old Mike Greenberg is a Jets fan. He wants to talk about his team. I get it. Zach Wilson sucks. Zach Wilson's this, whatever. Yada, yada. It was always about how bad Zach was. Never had that confidence. Never had the media backing, coaching backing, or player backing. The truth of the matter is I think it's a no way. I think it is a no way, and I do not think that he starts week 1. I think it is going to be Jarrett Stidham, and Zach Wilson will only see a field as if Jarrett Stidham is a complete dumpster fire and Bo Nix is just not ready. Kevin says, Milf Hunter went from first-round draft pick to barely worth the 7th. But damn, his fiance is good looking, though, isn't she? Casey Morgan says, Wilson has too many tantrums. Do you guys think he has any more tantrums than any other quarterback? I see Patrick Mahomes whining a lot. I see Aaron Rodgers whining a lot. We see Lamar Jackson whining a lot. It was just more publicized because he was in New York, right? Cameras are always on you, right? It's the Big Apple, the media capital of the world. I don't think he had any more tantrums than like anybody else out there. I just think it was more publicized. Zach Wilson equals bust. Yeah, probably. Kevin, you're probably right. Kevin says, I gotta go. Good luck with our show. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for your support. We need to get you on the show very, very soon. Talk shit about your team. But Zach Wilson being a bust, you are probably right. Meaning he is going to probably be a career backup. Zach Wilson could be a good stopgap fill guy for a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, for a team like the 49ers, for a team like the Dallas Cowboys, where there's a really good team around you and you just need to come in here and not freaking suck for 3 or 4 games until we get Dak Prescott back, till we get Brock Purdy back, till we get Patrick Mahomes back. I think if he does not end up on a team like that, he will definitely be a bust. I don't think he'll ever be a starter in the NFL again. So let's ask that question, guys. People in the comments, we're obviously going to clip this and ask the people. But do you guys think Zach Wilson will ever be a starter ever again? Not just at Denver, but in the NFL in general. I don't think he will. I think he will be a career backup. He will be the next Carson Wentz, traveling from team to team to team, kind of being a backup. Garner Minshew, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Chase Daniels, right? Made a whole career, a 15-year career as a backup. Sat behind Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes for many, 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 many years. Made a lot of money not doing jack shit. I mean, unfortunately, it is what it is. Next, way or no way on this beautiful Friday, AFC West edition. We're answering all of your questions. I picked out the best way or no ways from the week here, and we're going to pile it into one show here. And the question that I have proposed many, 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 many times, and I've kind of said it jokingly, but at the same time, kind of half-ass serious at the same time. AP, Antonio Pierce, was officially named the head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders going into the 2024 NFL season. He was obviously interim head coach last 7-8 games of the 2023 NFL season. They got kind of hot toward the end of the season, won 3 of their last 4, beating the Chiefs and the Colts, and I believe it was the Chargers to end the season. No, they lost to the Colts. I can't remember who their third win was, but they won 3 of their last 4. Everything was kind of pointing in the right direction. Aiden O'Connell was looking like a half-assed decent quarterback. The team was rallying around Antonio Pierce. But the truth of the matter is, guys, the Las Vegas Raiders go through a lot of head coaches, and they go through them pretty fast. So with that being said, way or no way, guys, does Antonio Pierce have to win now for the Las Vegas Raiders, or he is out? The reason that I say this is because when we broke down their schedule, I had them losing a lot of games in a row. I believe it was 9 games in a row I had them losing. I'm trying to pull it up here just to confirm that I am correct. But where'd it go? But I had them losing 9 games at some point in the season. And there was one game that I said I would be surprised if they allow him back on the plane. It was the Miami Dolphins game, November 17th in Miami. I said they're going to lose so bad that that 70 burger that the Dolphins put up on the Broncos last season might be an afterthought because they're going to put 80-90 on them, right? They're just going to be a bad game. May not even let Antonio Pierce back on the plane. So where, no way, does Antonio Pierce have to win this season to keep his job past the bye week going in or even going into the 2024 NFL season? I think Mark Davis is starting to grow as an owner, starting to grow as a person. The Raiders organization is starting to mature a little bit, right? They've gone through their adolescent states when Al Davis died. There was kind of a turbulent teenager. I want to rebel. I want to do a little bit of this and like a little bit of that. I think now they're starting to mature and starting to ripen as an organization, as a team. They have seen organizations such as the Detroit Lions, right? They found their guy. The players love their guy. He is a player's coach. He is a rah-rah guy. Brings in players with the X's and O's, and he is just a go get them, boys, right? I think the Raiders have that guy in Antonio Pierce. I think they have that guy in Antonio Pierce. So, I do not think they have to win this season. I do think they will be bad this season. 4 wins. I'm sticking to those guns all season long until they prove me otherwise, and I'll have to eat some crow. It is what it is. But I have to agree with Casey on this one. I think they give him 2 seasons. I'm actually going to go take it one step further. I think they give him 3 full seasons, right? This is his first full off season. Give me 3 years. Going into the 3rd year saying, hey, this is your make or break year. Because Robert Saleh's gotten a 3-year kind of pass, right? Mike McCarthy for the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, they are a 12-win team going to the playoffs year after year after year, but they lose in the first round consistently. It's time to put up or shut up. So I think he gives 3 years, and I think he does find success at some point in those 3 years. Is it sustained success? Not until they find that franchise quarterback. And he has to bring in an offensive coordinator, an offensive guru, right? To really mold that quarterback, to mold that team. John and Jim might like this, but I think Eric Bieniemy would be a perfect fit for the Las Vegas Raiders right now. Yes, I understand he's at USC, but if I'm Antonio Pierce, I would be contacting Eric Bieniemy every Tuesday. Like, hey, you want a job? Hey, you want a job? Give the man a job. Give the man a job. But I think he gets 2 full seasons. Going into the 3rd, he has to win. Bill will be the Raiders' next coach. You really think Bill Belichick was going to go to the Raiders? Not unless he's a GM too. I think it's all or nothing for Bill. The last way or no way of this beautiful Friday. Thank you guys that have stuck through us through all our show here. We're going a little longer today. It is what it is. Once the season starts, we'll be going to 4 o'clock. So get used to the hour and a half, 2 hour worth of NFL talk here. But the Los Angeles Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers, I think, are going to be a second place team in the West this season with just 6 wins. And I don't think this year is their year. However, some people have pointed out to the fact that, hey, don't forget about the X Factor in Jim Harbaugh. Don't forget about the X Factor in Joe Ortiz. They still have Justin Herbert. So way or no way do the Chargers really truly have no shot in the West. The Chargers are the biggest wild card in the NFL in general, I think. Right now, it is time for Justin Herbert to put up or shut up. I have heard that Justin Herbert from, was it David, right? Justin Herbert's better than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is an afterthought in Justin Herbert, right? Justin Herbert, it's time to put up or shut up, right? So to say that the Chargers truly have no shot in the West, I want to say way, but at the same time, I'm also a realist. I see their schedule. Their schedule is pretty favorable. Let's just be honest. Yes, they do travel to the West Coast a few times, a few 1:00 games early, right? Panthers, Steelers, right? So those are going to be tough games, tough travels. But they do play the Broncos. They play the Cardinals. They play the Falcons and Patriots and Raiders, right? They do have a lot of winnable games on their schedule. So to say that they have clearly no shot in the West whatsoever, it is clearly a no way. Because of the simple fact of the market, the simple fact of the matter is that this wide receiver core that they have is the most unproven, unknown in the NFL. I have put them as the worst wide receiver core in the NFL behind the Patriots, behind the Broncos, and behind the Panthers. 32 out of 32, the Chargers are there. However, if the offense of coordinator and Roman decides to use Justin Herbert, decides to potentially roll the pocket, some play action, right? Get those young receivers in the game. Quentin Johnson, Joshua Palmer. Let's see what they truly are. Lad McConkey, can he stay healthy for 17 games? He couldn't stay healthy in college. Let's see if he can do it, right? So to say that they have no shot in the West at like at all, obviously that is a stretch. That is me just wanting my predictions to be right so I can gloat on it. But they have a really good 1-2 running back punch right now. Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, if they can get healthy, they can have a really, really good season. Take a lot of pressure off Justin Herbert, bring 7-8 guys in the box, get Quentin Johnson and Joshua Palmer one-on-one covers on the outsides, push the ball down the field a little bit. They still have a decent defense. Joey Bosa is still a really good defensive end. They still have Khalil Mack, Asante Samuel, Derwin James. Still pretty good defense. Not a top tier, top 10 defense, but they're going to keep you in the game. But they do have a shot in the West. It's not a great shot. It's going to take a miracle from God to get them to win the West, but they still got a shot. They get hot at the right time, beat those crappy teams that are on their things. Bada bing, bada boom, they can be successful. David says 6 wins. What? He says 10 wins minimum. Let's look back at their schedule. And Chris Fisher is one of these people that my rant was about you. Hello, your takes are garbage. They're better than your takes. So let's talk about this 10 wins potentially about the Chargers here. Let's say they beat the Raiders week 1, beat Carolina. I don't see them going into Pittsburgh and beating the Steelers. I don't see them beating the Chiefs. I don't see them going into Mile High and beat the Broncos. They could beat the Cardinals. Saints? Cleveland? No. Tennessee's at home. Let's give you that one. There's 4. Bengals? It all depends about Joe Burrow. Is Joe Burrow healthy at this point? I think he's going to have a successful season, so that's a no. Monday night at home versus the Baltimore Ravens? No. The Falcons? Potential. There's 5. The Chiefs? The Buccaneers, I guess we can throw that one in there. Denver, I think you beat Denver at home. They're 7. Patriots 8, and then the Raiders 9. I could see 9 wins, but 10 minimum. 10 minimum. Are you counting preseason? I don't know. David, I could see 8. I could see 8. But 10? Jim Harbaugh wins everywhere he goes. Joe Ortiz is a really good general manager. Brought in some pretty good running backs. Listen. If this was 2025 right here on this July 5th, 2024 at 3:30 on the East Coast time, I would probably get on board with your 10 wins. Second year underneath the Jim Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz. Another full offseason, another full draft. I could see it. But this year, I'm not getting behind it. I can't. I can't. Now, let's bring up this one. Chris Fisher. Chris Fisher says, LOL, your takes are garbage. Which take is garbage, Chris? Is it the fact that I had the Raiders going 4-13? Is it the fact that I had the Chargers going 6-11? Is it the fact that I had the Broncos going 5-12? Is it the fact that I had the Chiefs going 12-5? Which takes this week do you think are garbage, Chris? Because clearly you are not a top fan. You are not an annual follower. So basically you are judging everything off of my clickbait titles. Oh, you didn't know I did that, Chris? You didn't know that sometimes I clickbait you into thinking that I say something in the clip and I say something totally different? I do it for people just like you. Get underneath that skin. And David, you have my word. David, you have my word. He says, I want an apology if we beat the Chiefs at home. Absolutely. I will absolutely give you an apology if the Chiefs lose to the Chargers. At any point in the season, just not at home. We'll do it at home. We'll do it at Arrowhead. We'll do it in the playoffs. If the Chiefs lose to the Chargers, I will get a Joey Bosa jersey. I will wear it on the show. And I will come in here and I'll give you 5 minutes, David. I'll say, from the bottom of my heart, the Chargers fans, David, I apologize to you. You guys are great. I mean, I don't anticipate me having to do that. Not at all. But if it does happen, we will do that. But yeah, David, you know I'm always down for eating some crow. You always know I am down for a nice healthy bet like that. Couple Who's Your Daddies or whoever. Casey said it should be a Herbert jersey, even better. The greatest quarterback of all time, Justin Herbert. I will get it in my shopping cart right now. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and order the jersey now, so it is in my closet. I do like the Baby Drew jerseys. Man, I wish I still got my Darren Sproles jerseys from when he played for the Chargers from the Kansas State University, my man. Actually from Kansas City. I think it was Olathe North he went to. No, I'm not mistaken. But I'll get a Herbert jersey. Posted is the easy way out. Okay. You are not wrong. Casey, you are not wrong. Casey's out here holding me accountable. All right, so guys, right here on July 5th, David and myself have a nice little friendly wager, right? We're not talking money. We're not talking thousands of dollars like you guys. Let me go off on a rant. To the people that want to bet like $10,000 and $20,000, I bet you $20,000 you are wrong. Put your money where your mouth is. I have a hedge fund. We can put that money into that hedge fund. It will sit there. So when the bet happens and the winner can take it all. I'll put in 10, 20, 30,000, whatever you want. But don't be just talking out the side of your mouth. But it'll be a Justin Herbert jersey, David, July 5th. Write it down. If the Chargers beat the Kansas City Chiefs this season, I will wear the Justin Herbert jersey. I will wear that jersey. Should it be for the whole day? Or obviously it'll be for a whole show. But should it be for one show, the whole week, 2 days? You let me know, David. And when the Chiefs beat the Chargers twice this season and sweep them, I will send you a Patrick. No, it can't be Patrick Mahomes. It's got to be Chris Jones. I'll give you a Chris Jones jersey, and you got to wear that. You got to take a picture and say, Buck is my hero. I'm signing up to the Picks and Pundit. Hell yeah, brother. Next week, we start the pre-shows back. Got the after-hours footage every now and then. But as of right now, guys, I got to go. Trent McDuffie? Okay, we can do Trent McDuffie. Trent's a good guy. Trent is a good guy. But guys, we are out for today. It was a great week. AFC West is under wraps now. No more talking about Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, or Broncos for a little while. Next week, we're doing NFC East. Monday, we got the Dallas Cowboys. Tuesday, we got the Giants. Wednesday, we got the Commanders. And Thursday, we're doing the Philadelphia Eagles. And then next Friday, way or no way, just like we did today. So, guys, stay tuned. Have fun. 2:30 East Coast time every Monday through Friday right here at manhourradio.com, manhour.co. Of course, streaming live on facebook.com/manhour. Of course, youtube.com/manhour as well. But as always, we out.